Hello, hello, hi, gigpreneur. What's going on? Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. My name is Sean Azimi, and I am somebody who went from working 14, 16 hours in an office for a long time and got to be unemployable due to my pancreas. So now I help folks create a side income using social media. If that is you, drop the word me in the comments and I got you. We'll get you going. Um, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok. Let's go. Instagram is having issues, so I will post later on Instagram. If you are not following me, come on, let's go. Follow me and I'll follow you back. Let's get started with tonight. It's a little late, but it's been a pretty long day actually, but a good day. I was with the family for a while and I got home late, but I got a good one for you tonight. I don't know about you, but I am certainly not a stranger to this feeling. And that is, have you ever felt like you were being overlooked, completely like bypassed, like you don't even exist, right? Like what's going on, right? Well, you're not alone. One, I can definitely tell you that there are times that I feel that way, but I have a good story for you. Okay, a good story for you today. Let's say there's an old lady by the name of Rama, and she's in a town in a village, if you would. And it looks like it's one of those people that has lived life. Have you ever seen somebody and you're like, this person can, I bet you this person's got stories to tell, right? Like they've lived life, right? What I call life mileage. Well, that was Rama. And she lived in a small little home and with a backyard. And she wasn't loud. She would not make a lot of noise. And she was not the kind of a lady that would go to town and talk to everybody and whatnot. She kept to herself. However, anybody that had a rough time, a tough time, or needed somebody to talk to, they would find themselves in front of Rama and at her house. So she was that kind of a person. One day, a young girl comes up to her and says to her, "Hey, I've heard a lot about you, and I got to talk to you because I feel like whatever I do, whatever I say, and however I act, it's just not getting me anywhere. I feel like I am stuck. I'm in a dark place and I don't really know what to do." Rama said, "Okay, well, sometimes the sometimes the struggle you're going through is actually a good thing." The young lady says, I don't understand." "Well," she says, "have you ever looked inside a caterpillar?" She goes, "No." He goes, "Well, it's dark. There's not a lot of air. And in fact, when you want to get out and become a butterfly, it's a major struggle. But if you don't go through that major struggle, you're not going to become a butterfly. So sometimes you got to go through the darkness, you got to go through the struggle." The young girl turns around and says, "Well, what if my time doesn't ever come? What if I go through the struggle and the struggle continues? What if I go through the dark time and the dark time continues? What's the point? Like, what if I don't ever become a butterfly. Rama says, well, I'll tell you what. She takes this jar and she has an olive seed in this jar. And she turns to the young girl and says, do you know what this is? She says, no. She says, this is an olive seed. And what happens with an olive seed is that when you plant it, for a long time, you won't see any activity above the ground. You probably think that it's not even growing. But what it's doing, it's actually expanding its roots in the ground and it's getting that really nice, long, strong foundation. And then before you know it, all of a sudden, boom, it's a pop out of the soil and starts to grow. The struggle you're going through is part of the plan. The darkness, the hard times, the struggles that you're going through is part of the plan. What if that was the case? It's part of this whole plan. See, you're planting your roots. She said she understood it. She left and she actually became very successful in her life. And she decided one day to come back to the town and see Rama. So she comes back to the town and goes to Rama's house, but Rama is no longer there, and the house is all basically torn and dirty and dusty, and the garden, the backyard that she had, it's just all weeds, and there's nothing going going on there. Well, the young girl was about to leave, and the corner of her eye catches this thing at the corner of the yard that she was pretty sure it wasn't there before. So she starts to walk up to it and she notices that it's an olive tree. The olive seed that Rama had, she had planted, and over the years, this had become a pretty decent sized olive tree. All of a sudden, this girl is remembering the story that Rama told her, that the struggle is part of the plan. See, sometimes you have to go through the dark times, the hard times, the rough times, not because you are being broken or you are being ridiculed or you are being torn down. It's because you are being grown. You're growing. You're being planted. I have mentioned this several times in my lives that not so long ago, I'm somebody who comes from the corporate world. Um, 14, 16-hour days in the office, 6 days a week, no joke. Sometimes 7 days a week, and crazy times, right? I went from that to being unemployable. You may say, well, how's that, Sean? I will tell you that it's because of health reasons. My pancreas shut down, and because of it, I can't get a job anymore because I have so many frequent visits to the restroom during the day, and they're all unpredictable. So I went from there and going through a dark time, a rough time, and at the same time, my job laid me off, and at the same time, my fiance left. So I had this all happen within 92 days, and it was rough, very rough, very, very dark. And in that time, and this is not too long ago. This is we're talking still going through the darkness and going through the toughness. But in this experience, what I realized is one thing, and this I had not had this breakthrough, obviously, before, first time. And that is, we do not get restricted, we get redirected. We don't get restricted, we get redirected. You have to believe that the good Lord did not put you on earth to restrict you, to bind you down, to not give you life and abundance and all that. It's not how it was designed. You and I get redirected because we're supposed to go another direction. But a lot of us are so stubborn, aren't we? We don't want to get redirected. We want to get stuck and keep knocking on the door that's closed. It's the truth. So, as much as I like to flip the switch on you and tell you, yeah, you're going through the rough time because you're just a horrible person and you're never going to get out of it. You're just, that's it for you. How, how irrational does that even sound? It doesn't even sound right. And that's the reason why we ask ourselves, why me? Why am I going through this? What's going on? Why am I being ignored? Why my prayers aren't being heard? That's why we ask those questions. And I want to share this with you from somebody who has gone through some really difficult times and is still climbing up, still climbing out and up. I want to share this with you from the bottom of my heart, that you are not being restricted. You and I are not being restricted. You are being redirected. The good Lord will bless the work of our hands. The work, not the hope of our hands, the work of our hands. The darkness is part of the plan. It's part of the plan. We're supposed to. You have to believe that. If you don't believe that, you're going to struggle for a long time, and you're not going to be able to pop out. You're not going to be able to get out. It's part of the plan. It's part of the redirection. It's just that we are so stubborn at times, aren't we? And that's all it is. I'm asking you not to be stubborn. I'm asking you to be open. I'm asking you to check things out, explore. I'm asking you to expand your mind. I'm asking you to rejoice in all toughness, roughness, and know that you are being redirected. I appreciate you. I hope that you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. Um, if you feel like this is worthy of sharing, somebody who's got to hear this, let's go. Tag him to this. Don't be shy. Don't be stingy with my lives. Hello. Share it. Let's go. And with that, I am Sean Azimi. I am somebody who went from working 14, 16-hour days in an office to being unemployable. And now I help you, people like you and me, to start a side gig online and grow it using social media. I help with your impact and income. And it all starts with a 5-day free run at it. If you're serious or curious, drop the word 5 in the comments and I'll get back with you after this live. With that, I am signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again.